Lead me up to your career and getting into the business.
Okay. So we were in San Francisco, then we were in Los Angeles, then we went to Austin, Texas, because my husband wanted to get out of the grind of movies because he was in production,
Okay.
and it's super, super, super long hours. And we thought, well, we'll go to Austin because there's a big video game community there. He could work in video games, wouldn't be as many hours, wouldn't be as stressful, etc. Well, it was worse.
Mm,
It was worse than movies. So he was working all the time, and so I thought, I don't know what I should do. And then I started um, thinking about real estate, and I joined Keller Williams. So I got my license in Austin, Texas, with Keller Williams, and that's where it started.
okay.
So I feel like I was so lucky to be under the tutelage of Keller and Williams because they would literally come in and talk to us.
Yeah.
So, and then there was so much um, education. There was constant education, constant classes, and it was the boom. It was like, when was that? Like 2005.
Okay.
So it was a great time to jump in. So that's where I started. And I was there. It was, now this is an interesting story. We bought this little house in Hyde Park, which is close to the university.
Okay.
And I can't remember which one, if it was Keller or Williams, but he said in 6 months, we're going to crash. Everything's going to crash. And I was like, oh no. I said, so I come home and I'm like, we got to sell the house. And my husband at the time was like, oh my gosh, why? I only have 6 more months out of this contract. I don't want to move for 6 months. I said, because the market's going to crash. I said, and it was right before 2008.
Yeah.
So we ended up selling our little cute house in Hyde Park, went to this yucky rental. 6 months later, crashed.
Wow.
And we made a ton of money off of our house because we were still in the boom. And he was so spot on. He was like, in 6 months, we are crashing, and we're crashing hard. So the guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we stayed there another 6 months. Then we moved back to Columbus.
Okay.
Got my license during the crash. Did not sell one house. It was awful.
What the experience that you had in Austin, were you licensed 3 years then? You said 05 to 08. Is that
Yeah, but probably that. Yeah,
okay?
maybe 2 years, something
And
like
were
that.
you just by yourself, or did you have a team? Or
Yeah,
I
I was
know
just by
teams were
myself.
kind of somewhat starting at that time, but
Yeah,
you're just
yeah,
selling on your own.
yeah. Oh man.
And then so now you relocate back to Columbus, decide to get licensed here, even knowing that the market, was down.
Yeah.
What was some of that thought process like? Was it just because you found that you loved the business, or just found that, this is what you're meant to do?
Yes, absolutely loved it. Loved it. It was. I always liked the thought of renovations, and I like the thought of making old things new, regardless of what it is. I love
Hmm.
adoption. I love adoption of dogs, people, all of that. Adopting old houses, transforming them, and I just love the idea of it. And then in Austin, because it was so booming, they had all these new builds of all these super um, modern homes that I
Yeah.
absolutely loved coming from LA. And then I just loved it. And we did a lot of touring of homes. We did tours of homes like every Monday. We would
Okay.
tour. Yeah, we used to do it in Columbus. We don't do it here in Courthouse, but I just absolutely fell in love with the whole process of it. So when we moved back to Columbus, we had a place in German Village on Deschler, a
Okay.
duplex that we were renovating. And I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to get my license again. Yeah, yeah. I was with, it was kind of a team, but it was just really a small brokerage called Dooley and Company. I don't know if you've been in the business that long. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
We
No.
mostly focused on downtown property because that's what I love.
Yeah.
And Bruce was my broker. Hey, Bruce. I love Bruce. And but I did not sell one thing. I did not sell one house. And I beat myself up. I mean, did all of this stuff that I learned with Keller Williams, the cold calling and knocking on doors. It was a nightmare. So anyway, we were there for 6 months. It was so cold. It was like the coldest that I remember it being here ever. And we moved back to LA. I was like, forget it. We're done.
So I want to